that can have a lot of expenses, right? You've got your rent, you've got whatever utilities you're covering, internet, all of those things. So you want to make sure that you're capturing all of those expenses and making sure that it's showing up in your books. So when you go to do your taxes, that's all getting captured. Hi, I'm Bette Hochberger, CPA, CGMA, and today we're going to talk about big tax deductions for businesses. So, what are business deductions, sometimes referred to as write-offs, right? You'll see both of those terms tossed around for businesses. Well, basically, anything that it costs you money to do to run your business, for the most part, is a big tax write-off. And the biggest tends to be payroll. If you've got people that work for you, wages, payroll taxes, benefits, that's going to make up the bulk of your business expenses. So, what's really super important is to make sure that in your books, whether you're using QuickBooks or something else, that you accurately are reflecting all of those costs of running your business with your employee. It's not so straightforward. I think of all things to record for business taxes, for business bookkeeping, payroll is probably the number one hardest thing to record because there's just a lot of moving parts, right? There's wages, there's taxes, there's state taxes, there's federal taxes, there's maybe benefits if you have health insurance, maybe the company's paying for part of it, maybe the employee's paying for part of it, right? There's all these different components of payroll, and that's what I think makes it so hard to get it into your books and get that done correctly. If you're using a specific tech stack, like for example, we really love working with Gusto for payroll and QuickBooks Online for the keeping the books part. They integrate beautifully. They integrate as long as you map it correctly. Every time you run payroll, all of those costs are going to be captured correctly in your books. So where you can automate this will save you ton of time, not just time, it'll save you a ton of money if you can also get those tax write-offs. Other things that can be really big, office expenses, especially if you're like still in a brick and mortar building, right? Or if you have a retail store, something like that, where there's a physical office, that can have a lot of expenses, right? You've got your rent, you've got whatever utilities you're covering, internet, all of those things. So you want to make sure that you're capturing all of those expenses and making sure that it's showing up in your books. So when you go to do your taxes, that's all getting captured. Some other ones to think about: travel, right? If you have to travel for your business, you want to make sure that the company is not just paying for it, but that you're writing it off. Vehicle expenses, because if you're a business owner and you're using your vehicle, you need to be tracking mileage. That's a great way to make sure that you're fully getting every last dollar that you can out of using your vehicle for your business. Obviously, if you have like a work truck, like if you're in construction or something like that, there's like a work vehicle, all of those expenses should be getting captured. Gas, tags, repairs, all of that stuff. Make sure that that's getting recorded so you get to take advantage of those deductions. And maybe some like ones that you didn't necessarily think about. Do you ever go to a workshop? Do you ever go to a networking meeting? Have you taken any online courses? Have you attended a conference? Things like that most likely are tax write-offs for your business. So you want to make sure that you're capturing all of these little things. Depending on the type of business you have, home office, if you have an LLC, you should be making sure that if you have a legitimate home office, that you're getting your benefit of having a home office and taking that home office deduction. So how do we do this, right? How do we make sure? Well, first off, if you've got a business account and you've got a business bank account, a business credit card, make sure you have good books. Make sure you're keeping receipts. So putting that all together shouldn't be a multi-hour process just to do your taxes. You can do that all year long. You can have QuickBooks up and running. And if you're maybe trying to figure out, I need to buy some bigger items, I need to renovate my office, need to buy a car, things like that, you need to understand things like Section 179 depreciation and bonus depreciation, things like that. Big takeaways: document everything, and when in doubt, ask us.